Welcome back to Tyranny. Okay. Only one place that we can go from Edgering Ruins, this favorite camp. Cool looking map, I like that. It'll take you 3 hours to complete your journey from Edgering Ruins to this favorite camp, yes. I do like that it actually showed you moving across the map with that little banner. It's a small thing, not a big deal, but kind of a nice little detail rather than just you click on a thing, the map fades out and you're there. Now I imagine if you get a random encounter, then you'll see where the random encounter is. One thing I didn't do before, can I mess with this UI at all? We got the mini map here. Can I move this? I can click on where I want to see. Can I make this bigger, smaller? If I click on it, it hides it. Okay. What about? Doesn't look like I can do anything with this. Not sure how I feel about the UI so far. I'm really used to having the mini map up here in the upper right hand corner. So I haven't been looking at it much because I just don't expect it to be there. I suppose I'll get used to it eventually, but I wish I could move it. Oh, I can make it smaller or bigger. Okay. Okay, alright. So that's something. Doesn't look like I can make this part of the UI smaller or bigger. Huh. Okay, I'll mess with it some more later. So that's another point where I can leave the map.
Yes.
Let's talk to these soldiers. Take what you can carry, but leave the car. Otherwise, we seize you and your wares. This is robbery. This is Kairos' law. Crescent Runner. Hail, Fatebinder. This favored scout nods at your approach. Camp's on up ahead. Don't mind us, just clearing out the rabble. Sterling Hadna. I still don't understand what I've done to offend. I respect that these are now disfavored lands, and I'm happy to give the Legion a proper toll. But she's going on about trading rights. What nonsense is that? I am not allowed to trade one thing for another? It's not like I'm selling weaponry to angry peasants or anything of the sort. The Overlord regulates all trade. If you lack the proper permits, your goods are forfeit. A trade permit? Well, to whom would I speak for such a thing? Not us, and not our problem. Maybe march your butt to Bastard City and plead your case before Tuna. But we'll lighten your burden and relieve you of your wares first. That should make the long trek a bit more bearable. Anything to be argued before Tuna may be argued before me. What's there to discuss? We should kill this mongrel imp. The warrior pauses, placing her hand in front of her mouth. If the Fatebinder wishes to weigh in on the matter, courtesy demands we listen. The soldier clears a throat, looking at you expectantly. This is a disfavored matter, but I know the agents of the court do so love to throw their judgment around. Well, you could rob me and have my supplies today. The merchant grabs a flask from his cart. Or you can leave me alive and have my fermented honey all year long. I even know a few family recipes for painkillers and healing drops. Certainly an army will need those. He uncorks a small ceramic vial, and the aroma of cloves and lanolin assaults your nose. What a coincidence. Your family recipe for wound paste smells just like the Scarlet Fury's own concoction. Where'd you steal this? I don't. The merchant tenses up, his face flushing red. I don't know what you're getting at. How stupid do you think I am? Sold out. I'll tell you everything. Just don't hurt me here. I found most everything out in the forest and the valley. I'd keep my head low when I heard the sounds of combat. Then I'd take a look and grab whatever wasn't claimed by the first victors. So then you stole from the disfavored dead. How else did you get your hands on that iron? The scout points to the merchant's cart. You would come here and sell us our own armaments. If anything has an owner, I will return it. But this iron would have turned to rust if left in the mud on the battlefield. The disfavored are few in number, is that not right? You need a man like me to gather up supplies that would otherwise go to waste. The disfavored will tolerate your presence, but you will pay them handsomely for such charity. We will. The disfavored soldier clears her throat with a cough before repeating herself in a more upbeat manner. We will. It sickens me to make an exception for this vulture, but if you will supply the disfavored without profit, perhaps the indiscretion is for the best. It's not like our larders are overflowing. A work slave to scrounge provisions would be an asset. Thank you for interceding on my behalf. I know my life will now depend on showing the disfavored our due gratitude for suffering my presence. If I must grovel a bit to earn my daily grain, so be it. Ah, I'm such a good mediator. Slow down a moment. I know both eager to watch the Archons bicker over tactics like a pair of magpies, but I need to ask you something first. Sure, Verse. The voices in the rat told me that you've come as a mediator. Considering the source, well, I can't help but feel I'm only hearing half the story, so let's have it out. What's so special about you? What else has the voice of Norat told you? Only that I could find you in Edgering ruins. Truthfully, I could have picked you out in the crowd. You're the only one of us who hasn't spent the last few months bathing in the stink of Matney River. She laughs. There's a forced nature to it. I'm here to deliver an edict from Kairos. That makes a crazy kind of sense, considering how long the siege has taxed the armies. I can understand why Kairos would send you with an edict to speed things along. Have you read it? Do you know what it says? The Archons must claim Ascension Hall by Kairos' Day of Swords, or all will perish. One more thing for the Archons to fight over. Well, thanks for cluing me in. If Kairos sends any lightning our way, just tell me when to duck. I really ought to be meeting with the Archons. The war tent is just past the center of camp. She nods towards the northeast. One last thing. Be careful around these disfavored types. They take their work seriously, and most have suffered too many blows to the head. What do we have here? Step closer and present yourself. Why, I will. The gate guard holds up a warning hand. Go no farther. You approach disfavored grounds. State your business. I am Muriel, the unyielding fate binder of Tuna. I bring words from Kairos, words for your commander's ears. Understood. His posture relaxes, his weapon rolling. On behalf of disfavored, I welcome you into our camp. The Archons are gathered in the war tent. Head straight through the gate. First, I'm going to look around here a little bit, see if there's any goodies lying around. Doesn't look like it. There's probably a key to show all clickable objects. There usually is in these games, but I kind of like the pixel hunt myself. I guess it's my years of playing point-and-click adventures. And we got training ground. These folks, I'll probably talk with them later, but right now I should really be talking to the commanders. There we go, there's the tent.
See that?
The Archons await you inside, Fate Binder. Armor can never reduce damage below 1. Yesterday you chided me for wishing to wait. Now you suggest an even longer delay.
That's 4 reports of avalanches in the mountains now. The Tiersmen can barely count past 9. They have neither the capacity nor the cause to close off the mountain passes. Either way, that leaves the 2nd and 4th cohort trapped outside the valley.
The Archon of War pounds his staff on the ground to punctuate his words. A large and imposing man to begin with, his profile is made larger still by his hulking suit of armor that hums with mystic energy.
Or it's the work of your perfidious Earthshakers. Only a fool would not suspect a traitorous Archon of poisoning the mind of his students with sedition. We would have killed the Earthshakers Guild for their master's treachery, but I'm sure you have some perfectly valid reason for allowing them to live as your pawns.
The Archon of Secrets passes a scepter between his hands as he speaks, twirling the rod in hypnotic circles. Emerald luminescence seeps from the seams of the Archon's ragged, red robes. The glow is most noticeable where his neck ought to be. His mask seems to float and spin, never pivoting or bending naturally.
Hey, watch yourself. When these two get going, you don't want to get between them.
Verse whispers fearfully as she beholds the Archons. Hold on, I'm gonna let them go on a little longer.
I always know you've run out of things to say when you resort to mocking my vassals. If we are to speak of treachery, why is it that my scouts see the Scarlet Chorus warriors defecting back to the Vendrian Guard? Your fearsome reputation has gone flaccid, for it seems you cannot control your soldiers, or perhaps you simply choose not to.
My lords, the Fate Binder has arrived. The disfavored commander raises her voice, trying with little success to speak over the Archons. Perhaps we could table this discussion and let our guests speak.
Speaking of strategic failures, who was it that insisted the valley would need only a token garrison? For some strange reason, we can't seem to recall which balding halfwit grossly underestimated the enemy. Thoughts?
Oh, this is great. The Archon of Secrets twirls his scepter in a twisting loop, his leather-wrapped hands flipping the heavy rod with an effortless flow. Oh, I'm gonna let them keep going.
And I thought you had left agents within these tiersmen when they surrendered. Either you failed to see this coming, or you knew and let it happen. Incompetent or in cahoots, either way, this mess has your filthy stink all over it.
The Archon of War lurches forward, resting his weight on his war maul as blue luminescence crackles around his armor.
We look forward to seeing you explain to Tunon why the Archon of War could not close the vice on this trivial little insurgency. When we are crowned the ruler of the Tiers, we shall have this place renamed to Ash's Folly in your honor.
Oh, I like this Voices of Narat guy. This guy is great. The Voices of Narat tosses his scepter into the air, catching it as it descends back down. Oh, I'm gonna let them keep going. This is fantastic.
If I could trust the information I get from you and your conscripted mouth breathers, perhaps I'd order my cohorts around a bit more aggressively. But last time I trusted your all-clear report, my troops failed to come home.
Oh, Ash, old boy. If you're going to have a little sob every time one of your nieces or nephews dies to the Tiersmen, perhaps we should have Siren sing you some calming lullabies to help you cope with your grief.
The Archon flips his scepter 3 times around, humming gleefully. Hold your tongue! I will not have you denigrate the honor of our fallen brethren. The commander's hand moves to the hilt of her blade, though the weapon stays sheathed. I'd be doing us all a favor if I cracked open that excuse for a head. They bicker like children, do they not? The fifth eye's granting tenor pierces the tension in the tent, and all eyes land on the crimson spear. I meant only to say welcome. Welcome to our guest, the Fate Binder. The armored retainer bows with rushed-in elegance, then rises to salute. And not a moment too soon.
Did I give you permission to speak?
The Archon of War turns to you, his blue eyes wide with anger. The many portraits you've seen depict Graven Ash with a stern, unamused countenance. He's even more taciturn in the flesh. I'm just gonna glare at him silently.
Ah, the Stormcaller. Conveniently late once more. Our eyes and ears tell us you come bearing an edict. The anticipation is killing us.
The weight might be killing you, and all of us.
My soldiers tell me you helped Commander Drossus on your way through Edring. You honor the court with your selfless cooperation, for that is the sort of camaraderie that Kairos demands of us all.
On the last of his words, the Archon of War glares at the Voices of Narat, furrowing his brow as he utters the word camaraderie. I require no thanks for doing my sworn duty.
Modesty is your prerogative, but know that cooperation and goodwill have been rarities of late. You do your Lord Tunon a great honor by aiding your cousins in the disfavored.
No, don't mind us while you trade your gushing praise. We're sure the Fatebinder has come because our company lacks in small talk.
I come bearing an edict of Kairos.
For the second time, Brother Tunon selects you for the glory of proclamation. You should be honored. Tell us, what has the Overlord decided to unleash upon the Oathbreakers?
Oh, it's not just the Oathbreakers. In honor of your incompetence and disarray, the edict will execute every living thing in this valley unless Ascension Hall is taken by Kairos' Day of Swords. The earth sways with each word you utter, the air thickening with warmth as you pronounce the tersely phrased commandment. its every syllable drafted by the hand of Kairos. With the edict proclaimed, your pulse quickens and the muscles in your legs, worn from a long trip down the mountains, feel renewed. The tired limbs now nearly buoyant with vigor.
The Overlord means to compel us into action. No doubt the avalanches in the mountains are part of this ultimatum. We must conquer the Oathbreakers or die in failure. There is no room for error, and no other way out of this valley alive.
You are correct there, Graven Ash.
We need to advance across the Mittani. We lose everything if we stand still. And we move to back up Plan Green. The Earthshakers didn't make it over the mountain in time. So we do this the hard way. Over the walls instead of through.
The Archon of War taps a finger against his temple. A low rumble escapes from under his beard.
So you found your backbone at last! Oh, we were worried past humiliations would make you soft, timid. That was a record for you, right? A baker's dozen lost in one sortie. If you had waited for the chorus reinforcements, maybe we'd have eyes and ears on the matter.
The Archon of Secrets passes the scepter from one hand to the next, chuckling softly with each toss. Man, I love this voice of the rat guy. Learn to work together, or we're all doomed.
The Fatebinder is right. We're acting not as leaders, but as children. I've no time for your foolish japes and petty taunts. We should focus on the objective at hand, and that is taking the Mittani River, and then advancing to Ascension Hall and ending this edict.
Then enough talking. There's work to be done. My lord, Barrick and his band have been drilled on the Echo Call salt plan. The Crescent Runners should be briefing him as we speak regarding the latest enemy movements along the river. I will dispatch him at once. The Iron Marshal salutes, clapping her gauntlet to her breastplate. And I will ensure the chorus stands ready to march. If the disfavored can take the river, the chorus has the manpower to secure the outer ring of the valley.
Our soldiers clamor for battle, and at last we shall have it. Verse, we command you to continue guarding the Fatebinder. Tunon's Chosen is our honored guest, and must be shown our finest hospitality.
I won't let you down, boss. She'll get through the campaign in one piece, as long as she doesn't do anything too stupid.
The Archon twirls his scepter one last time, then taps the fifth eye on the shoulder and the two depart.
Finally, the fool and his puppet are gone. Perhaps now I can hear myself think. Rarely do I question Kairos' judgment, but I will never understand why the voices of Narot is given such authority. I shudder to think what will become of us all should Tunon favor him in the end. Though the edict threatens the Scarlet Chorus just as it threatens us, I cannot shake the feeling that our allies will work against us. You've shown your worth in war, and your name has been known to the Legion since the very beginning of this long conquest. So I'd ask that you join us this one last time, to help us wrap up this last objective. If you wish to be counted amongst the glorious, speak with the Iron Marshal. She will direct the order of battle until we are ready for the final push into the Citadel.
I'm short a few scouts, short a few soldiers, short a few everything. I'm sure my brethren would be grateful for the assistance of a skilled outsider. And what of the Scarlet Chorus? How will they be helping?
I ask myself that question often. While we take the river crossing, the Scarlet Chorus should be using their sizable presence to remove the Oathbreaker patrols lurking in the Outer Valley.
The Oathbreakers have maintained a sizable force outside the Citadel. We need the Chorus manpower to scout the region. Otherwise, the Oathbreakers will attack at our heels once we've crossed the Mittani. I would be honored to help. The Iron Marshal salutes Graven Ash, then turns to leave the tent. I will be at the training grounds, readying the soldiers. Find me when you are ready. She pauses, clearing her throat. And though I am loath to mention it, the Chorus can likely use your assistance. They certainly won't secure the Outer Valley on their own. Fifth Eye will be somewhere in the rat's nest they call a camp, due east. Seek him out, if you must. I'm definitely a fan of Voices of Narat so far. That guy's great. Oh, that's good times.
Aye.
Fatebinder Muriel the Unyielding, am I right? I'm Sivius, commander and third generation disfavored. Specifically, I'm Sivius the Younger. Some folk can't keep track. The rank says commander, but lately I'm just organizing patrols and trying to stay out of the way. You should talk to Iron Marshal if you have something official that needs discussing. What is it you need? I overheard you asking that Earthshaker where the reinforcements have gone. Is there a problem? I'm afraid so. Radix, the head of the Earthshakers, was supposed to arrive with a group of his most competent spell slingers to help break the stalemate. I don't know what's holding up their arrival, and that worries me. If you are at all inclined to lend a hand, we could use some arcane support on our side. I could lend a hand. Could you? I knew that Tunan's agent wouldn't fail us at a time of need. I'll mark the last known site of our Earthshaker reinforcements on your map. Good hunting, Fatebinder. Why do you think the siege has delayed for so long? Insufficient reputation. Well, shit, don't look at me. It's not like we had a standing army ready to tackle these idiots. The Legion is spread thin across the tiers. Tell me about yourself. Sorry, Binder. Even I know there's no law that can force me into small talk. If you want to make friends, fuck someone else. Fair enough. Glory to the Voices of Narat. Projecting his salutation for all to hear, the grinning blood chanter raps his staff against the ground as you approach. Fatebinder Muriel the Unyielding, I presume. His smile quickly retreats, giving way to a sour scowl. I am Bitterquip. I'm here as an emissary of the Scarlet Chorus. Bitterquip looks at you impatiently. What can you tell me of the Scarlet Chorus? The Chorus is the future of the Tiers. I feel only derision and pity for those who fear our inevitable ascension. Bitterquip looks at you with a raised eyebrow. What in particular would you like to know? How did you come to join the Scarlet Chorus? The doctrine of strength speaks to me, and I answered its call, as did some of my arcane peers. I took to the chorus almost instantly. Unlike most, I cried not for the life of comfort lost to me. My magic invokes fear and terror, and I easily established my dominance over a pack in my early days in the chorus. If you're so curious about it all, Bitterquip smiles, lifting an eyebrow, perhaps you should visit our camp and see for yourself. Tell me about the voices of Narat. He is a supreme commander and public servant. He who sets us free but directs all. Bitterquip smiles as he talks, his face turning flush. The voices of Narat is the epitome of what each of us can be, a magician without equal, and the leader of uncountable numbers. The voices in the chorus are one, conquering, expanding, growing, changing, always stronger. Bitterquip pounds his step into the ground. Glory to the voices. Sounds like you really like the voices of Narat. Bitterquip blinks several times and scowls, saying nothing. Yes, let's go visit this Scarlet Chorus camp. So I'm gonna have to, I imagine, leave this this favorite camp, go back to the world now. Isotanus curses the air as a blade of thin iron breaks in half beneath his hammer. Repairing weapons with scrap isn't exactly why I got into this craft, but our supplies are spent. He wipes the sweat from his brow and gets a better look at you. Why not forge bronze? Bronze will do in a pinch, don't get me wrong. It can take a beating and get back into shape, unlike the stubborn iron we have here. He glances at a pile of his work with dread. And we always have plenty of tin and copper lying around, so supplies aren't a problem. It's a rare smith who can churn out military-grade bronze consistently. More often than not, it comes out soft. Look around camp. We're garbing the Legion head to toe in iron because it's cheaper and easier to produce for the masses. Couldn't do that with bronze. They called it disfavored, the Iron Region, for a reason. Strategy and skill may be our backbone, but our claws are made of iron, the good stuff that comes from the smiths and the Lethian's Crossing. You mentioned an iron shortage? I'm afraid so. The last shipment sent down the Matani went missing near Echo Call Crossing, and I'm afraid we won't be seeing any more now that the valley's sealed. Forge-bound iron is Tunan's responsibility. Why is this the first I'm hearing of it? Keep your voice down, Isotanus flinches and lowers his own. Graven Ash doesn't want to cause a panic or pass information to the Vendrian Guard. Best case scenario, the iron tumbled off a boat and is rusting on a riverbed. Worst case, it ends up in our enemy's hands. If I find myself in Echo Call, I suppose I can keep an eye out. I appreciate that, as does the great general, more than you might guess. Maybe he isn't quick to offer his hands to outsiders, but I know we'll be grateful for your help. It would be a boon to the war effort if our iron was recovered. I'm here to help, even if that means cleaning up the Archons' mess. No need to salt the wound, Fatebinder. None of us is mistaken in thinking that the siege has gone exactly as planned. He glances to a crate beside him and points to a small set of notches on the wood. You see that? This is how we tell apart our iron shipments from the rest. Inconspicuous, so people don't go snooping around. You want to keep your eye out for these. Good hunting. Nothing for me to loot around here, huh? Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. It's a bronze tower shield. Cool. Not really useful for either of my characters, but I'll take it. I'm sure I'll be picking up more companions eventually. Spears are uniform in their quality and craftsmanship. The arrows were fleshed with precision and care. You can't make out the ironclad soldier's expression under his twisted helmet. He merely stares at you. Stone shield armor. Ooh, it's better than what I'm wearing for the most part. -1 crush and fire armor, but +1 armor, +2 pierce frost, +6% deflection. Let's check out her armor. Again, better than what she's got. I probably want to give it to her since I'm gonna have her in the front lines. For the most part, my armor shouldn't matter that much. Yeah. Although it's kind of hilarious to have a Scarlet Fury wearing disfavored armor, but hey, I'm all about the stats here. Locked. That's okay, I can pick it.
It's all in the reflexes.
Light leather gloves. Nice, nice. Better all around. You know, her bloody Scarlet Fury armor is better than mine. I might as well put it on. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Only for verse. Better both ways, for both of us. I think I might keep these, well, because of the bonus to recovery and deflection, which is for missile attacks, which is what I will most likely be facing, unless someone gets past her. So, yeah. Go. I'm sure her hand wraps are better than what I got. Yeah. So if I can't wear her armor, can I wear the other armor that I got? Maybe I'll give her back her original armor. I can wear it. Cool. Okay. In that case. Grain. Alright, that looks like that's it. Time to leave this camp and head east. A meager portion of game simmers in the large copper pot. Fragment spices attempt to mask the potent smell of whatever creature they decided to cook. Just make a quick look around, make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, we got some named people here. Lucia and Marcus, let's talk to them. I am Lucia. This is Marcus. This favorite soldier points to the armored man next to her. And you must be the fake binder. Under her helmet, you hear an audible scoff. We've been assigned to Baba's babysit. Assigned to your hospitality, Marcus quickly interjects. While you remain on this favored ground, if you should need a place to rest, we can make the necessary preparations. What can we do for you? Marcus, tell me about yourself. Not that there's much to tell. I trained at Fort Resolution. This is my first campaign, and I'm proud to be with the Legion. I was wounded at the Gates of Judgment, but Graven Ash's protections mended me good. I owe my life to him. Are you bragging that you let your guard down and took a spear to the gut? You really shouldn't boast about a filthy tearsman besting you in battle. Lucia rolls her eyes. You're just bitter that Lord Ash never seems to notice you. In all seriousness, I would take that spear again if it brought honor to this favor. Kairos knows we could use it. We are the elite fighters of the Northern Army, but somehow we still lack the Overlord's confidence. He shakes his head and sighs. Lucia, tell me about yourself. I do this. She enthusiastically lifts up her heavy shield. And I do this. She mockingly stabs at the air of her spear. Lucia shrugs. Playing host is not my strong suit. Ignore my sarcasm. I've seen the Legion through my share of campaigns. After so much bloodshed, our pretenses of honor can wear me down. She turns a cautious eye to your way. The North is my home, and I consider each and every one of the ironclad bastards in this camp to be my family. You won't find another army where each member of the Phalanx is as beloved and cherished as the next. What is it like serving with the disfavored? In spite of our name, the Legion commands more honor than any military on the face of Terratus. Unlike the Chorus, there's tradition, discipline, teamwork, and unity of purpose. Marcus looks out across the camp. There aren't many of us, but it's better that way. We're a tightly knit family, bound together by trust and glory. Accurate enough, Lucia shrugs. After seeing the disunity and bickering of the younger realm defenders, I feel lucky to be in the most agreeable legion of Kairos' host, even if we're not always the most efficient. Okay, so I could get training with them. How have your skills fared in battle against the Oathbreakers, Marcus? Okay, I don't have reputation enough with them too. Alright, I see. So I get probably Javelin with Lucia and Sword with him. Of course, Fate Binder. Marcus pounds his fist on the armored salute. Okay, costs 8 copper. That's staff, so I'll probably go two-handed weapons. I can only train 5 times a level, gotcha. For her, probably one-handed. She uses her, or no, dual wield is what she does. Okay, let's see what Lucia's got. Finally, some fun to break up the monotony of the siege. Thrown weapons, dodge, and athletics. Okay. Dodge is definitely useful. Neither of us uses thrown weapons. Not yet, anyway. she went up a level. Cool. Ah, that bonus only lasts a short bit. Gotcha. So when you level up for a short bit, you get the bonus. Alright. Added up some more fitness. Okay. I think I've done everything there is to do in this camp for now. So we'll leave off here, and next time we'll journey to the Scarlet Chorus camp.